Welcome to the lovely IHP community and the 5D collective. We get to chit chat a little bit about love. So for today, we looked at how empowerment is when you are not living drama stories, thinking about how to never get fucked over with again, and all those other stories that adaptive child part people do. So you can tune into those if you want. And that's where I thought of also chit-chatting about how love isn't a performance if you are yourself. It is easy, it is forever, and it doesn't change, but that's because, again, I'm a self-agent. So securely attached, non-traumatized here. Lady, empowered people don't actually have questions about who they're going to be in a relationship with. We don't have a compass that doesn't understand healthy self-worth. We don't need reparenting. So secure attachment is not boring. It is actively a human being who knows how to process the emotional stuff that comes up, which is why we don't bury it. And so even if you do the stupid things that I'm sure you all remember teenagers. Let me organize. Okay, I lost a little control thing, but it's fine. I'll use my lovely hands. So when you're a teenager, those who do teenage stuff, teenage things don't get as idiotic as those that I did get to see. And I'm going to say, the higher self of me was there with me. Okay, so higher self means that from science's perspective, you got a good parenting, and then your body was able to handle things. So you have integration, your corpus callosum is connected, your prefrontal cortex works, all of that brain development happened, great and easy. Okay, so you don't actually look to pamper anyone. You're a straight shooter, so you're not going to have to create a secure attachment in a way that is of those who have insecurities. But we all will work through insecurities. And so the nice thing, though, about not having unfinished business, again, for those who love as their true self, is that it's not a performance. I'm not afraid to make mommy, daddy angry. I have no attachment wounds. I also don't project my past. Okay, so I'm not using numbing agents. I'm not suppressing emotions. I'm not getting reactive. I'm not calling out any of those characterological distinctions. So securely attached, non-traumatized. You'll hear those who talk to you about attachment. I'm not talking about attachment. I'm talking to you about a life that is of love, easily felt, consistently grown, transformed relationships. And that when we look to the past, I don't think of my teenage boyfriend in a sexual way. And when I hear people who talk about their exes like that, I think, wow, to me, you're weird. Because why? That transformed, it changed. But then I say, no, it's not weird. It's just that I'm Maria, as a polyamory woman, who explains my solo polyamory dynamic, moving to polyfidelity, and get you these stares that they don't understand. I'm not offended. I'm actually curious about how they're not more curious. And then I'm also curious about the ones who get more curious in a good way. The ones who don't, it's not a bad way, but they're judging. They're like, she doesn't love anybody. You know what? She's probably traumatized. So when people chime in with their opinions, that's an adaptive child part. It's a person who doesn't actually want to know what your idea of love is. Okay, so again, love to me is not a performance. It's easy. It doesn't change. I will consistently love all people. And when some people say you have to love one more than another, no. And when people don't agree with that, that's because they're trying to harness and measure, which tells me that you're not, again, living love freely, which is somebody's way of being motivated or not. Mine is I live love freely. I'm a self-agent, and bonding is straightforward. Also physical safety. So again, my motivators are the same as anybody else, but again, the difference is that as a mystic in the Enlightenment Soul age group who's a functioner child adult, I know that I don't change, and I know that love is a consistency for me, for the people that I'm choosing in my life. Obviously, I'm going to have a relationship, and then I love all people because you're all my brothers and sisters. I come with God. I come with faith. And those who don't have faith, again, they don't understand it. And when they're questioning it, I didn't ask you to believe in what I believe in. And as I'm grounded in reality and my cherishable beliefs can be falsifiable, and I already learned from my teenage boyfriend what effective realism is, I really don't have time to waste with stupid masculines, because half-brained people are masculines, and those are all insecure human beings. Insecure because the minute that a human being can explain to you something and you're not curious about it and you're questioning it in a way that is not excitedly finding out about somebody else, your energy is small, limited energy. So again, limited consciousness, limited energy is because I got a teenager in a room who's chiming in. That's not mindfully listening. But I'm okay with that, meaning that I don't really tell them. I'm telling you all. Okay, so when you live love easily, you know death do you part, sickness and in health, as in monoamory and polyamory. People who call characterological distinctions on polyamory community, you're whores, you're unfaithful, you just want to fuck people, you're just all masochists. I mean, really, I'm not offended because I don't get offended because I'm a securely attached human being. And I don't have, oh my God, how dare they? I don't have a charge. I have, if a person doesn't know how to have fun in life and how to enjoy learning new lifestyles and new things, and they think rigidly and chaotically that they know the best way, go get your checklist on how to not get fucked over, shall you? 3D, 4D fearful brothers and sisters are of lack of interest to an intelligence, intellectually and emotionally speaking brain. They're nobody. And if they're anybody, they're a bunch of people who will gang up on other people, and like cowards do, they just yell at each other, because those to me are all cowards. So they want to keep being charged, let them keep being charged. That's not love. That's again fear, and their biochemistry is going to weaken them as their distress continues to be that which distress is. Robert Sapolsky, love you, man. So with determined, science says no free will, which to me doesn't have an issue, because at IHP, I already know who's going to want to tap into their infinite higher human conscious potential experience. It's lovers, mystics, spiritual, mindfully living, loving people. It doesn't get harder to love as you meet cowards. It's easy to love, because I don't lose love at all, because it's here. It's here, and actually, excuse me, it's my oxytocin gene hormone. I'm anchored in my ventral energy. It's not one emotion. But when people say, you can't always be happy, you think, wow, I guess you want me to not be happy. But then again, yes, I have all the other emotions, but they don't tire me out, because I know how to use my brain. It's integrated bilaterally, vertically overall. So I also know how to use my mind effectively. I also know how to use my body. And now I'm starting to sound like I know it all, and I do. I know how to use myself. Oh, look, lo and behold, I'm a self-agent. And teenagers didn't like that. And grown-ups still won't when they have a teenage version of themselves leading them. Hey, Cusco, what's up? I'm Pacha. I ain't Cusco. I'm having a good time right now. What's up? So this is why, again, you don't change your mind as you move forward in life with love, with people, and as yourself. So I'm not performing. I don't do an act. That's for circus people. But I am a buffoon to the ones who don't know how to handle when their attachment wounds flare up. And so they'll just chime in with different types of insults, quote unquote. And whether it's evil bitch, evil whore, evil witch, evil whatever, it's just the same shit, because they don't actually know how to handle what is infuriating them, which I know how they could handle it. They could go to therapy and love themselves first, but and that's a red flag right there. Okay, so when you love easily, it's because you consistently are securely attached, non-traumatized, a healthy self-worth. And as a teen, I already told my teenage boyfriend at the time, I said, I'm not jealous. You're not mine. I'm not yours. We're going to support each other on everything that we want. And by the time 3, he's a charm. I said, look, I'm about to get ready to go to school, away. What are we going to do here? What do you want to do? Let's stop. But what is this? Just make up your mind. So the part about what people don't understand is liar, liar, pants on fire. It doesn't matter whether you want to allocate it in man, woman, they, or any of the sex stuff. It's not any of it. Polyamory, monoamory. Get securely attached, become non-traumatized. Get to territorial, become a fierce lover. Then you're going to know how easy, maybe. I mean, because he puts conditions. I have no conditions, because I don't need to. I am going to consistently show up with always a smile, because even when I'm sad, I'm smiling, because I'm in my ventral energy. And so people who don't want to expand as their true self, they don't want to be around healthy, self-worth, empowered, enlightening, mystic, spiritual, mindfully living, loving people. The 5D frequency are not sought by the fearful ones. The 3D, 4D are fearful ones. So this is the part. Their performance is an act. And then when we're interacting, because my higher self, I look at them without any shame, any blame, no defectiveness, none of it. They're exiles, protectors, and every little bit of their inner world comes up, because they want, the inner world wants to be welcomed back home, which is why their child parts are looking to be tended to, but they have to have self-awareness, accountability, regulation, and look, oh, look, my past lives through me. Let me go and get it tended to so I can stop maladaptive patterns of behavior, inner outer critic, drugging, drinking, fucking, and projecting it at random people with charges. Also, let me get, tutorials, so people who are aware of the data will notice it, because they will notice my misery, my hypervigilance, this stuff that's mine, this performance. It's hard to have a relationship. It's not hard to have any relationship when you're confident. From a self-agent, this even without mysticism, it's not hard for me to be Maria. And when someone calls me out because I'm loud and I'm there, I'm not embarrassed. I am never ashamed of myself because I am accepting as I am. I can be crooked. Thank you, Terriel. God, take me as I am. I will ask God for forgiveness. I will talk to him about my sins. Anyone in flesh is not God. And as for the law, that's straightforward. So again, when people don't understand, those of us of spirit, of faith, we don't explain ourselves again and again and again, because the only people who would bring us to have to do this are the same ones who don't have self-awareness, accountability, regulation, and for them, love is not easy. So I'm going to let their 3-year-old speak. That way they have the floor. They get out feeling like they're a winner, and I get to go and keep loving and having a good time. So it's again, our fearful brothers and sisters, they can get to love too, but in the meantime, here's to love being easy, consistent, not ever changing, expanding. Our polyamory and monoamory community coming together. The polyfidelity, again, little vessel that we've been talking about. Polywise is a really great book. I haven't finished it yet. Polysecure. And for monoamory, they are curious, open, accepting, and loving too when they are securely attached, monoamory people, because they understand the difference. And again, death do part, sickness and in health, vows, tradition. It's upheld by those who have integrity. 2 hands, 2 feet. It's functional child adults who have integrity. The charged part people, they have what they think is integrity. I have righteousness. You have a butthole that is full of certainty of nothingness. Half a brain is what you're using right now, so you're actually biased with a bunch of charges. I can listen to you, and that's not about right or wrong. I can listen to you, but you're full of charges, or your affect is ruling you, and what's coming out of your brain is half of what could be if you had maintained an equanimous stance with discernment, because you're a wise, good judging, calm-centered, loving person, because you're actually having empowered self-conversation, not proving your point. Adapt the child part. It's not a losing strategy here. You can wield your words however you want, but you are in a battlefield that is not what I'm doing here. So again, love, not a performance. It's easy because I'm not afraid to speak my mind, share my thoughts, differentiate self. This is thoughts and feelings as they get shared, and that's the community we get to build. So we'll be back again with more. Have a good one.